Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Hey, good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
Good morning, everybody in the chat. All right. I feel like we should just do the first segment like right off the bat. There's no reason why we shouldn't just hit it, right?
Yeah.
So I should just, in the future, maybe just do that. So let's do it now. All right, let's go ahead and do this for the record. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 612 for April 24th, 2022. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing quite well.
All right, good. Got a handful of folks in the chat. Thanks for joining us from wherever you are around the world. Today, it's going to be a little show and tell. John's been messing around with Myth 3. The third in the Myth series, the third and final chapter.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A prequel, actually, right?
Yes, a 1,000-year earlier prequel.
1,000 years.
1,000 years, yes.
Awesome. So we'll hear more about that. We've got eBay finds, a little bit of news. And what else is going on with you? I see...
What's that?
You got your was a Spam-A-Lot t-shirt on. I see that.
Oh yeah, just nice. Yep. And I see the shirt you are wearing is the colorized,
the original
Apple
logo from Apple. Yep. What do you say? This is 8-bit tees.
Yes.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Javier's store. Yeah.
Yep. Kansas Fest is. Did you register yet? Is registration open?
Yet. I have not. It is open. Yes, I believe it opened on the 15th, but I have not registered yet. Yep.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break and come back with some eBay finds. Okay.
Jeremy's been posting more stuff on our Facebook page than we post on our Facebook page. Appreciate that, Jeremy.
Doesn't take much to beat us, though.
That is true. And if you also want to go over to another site that we neglect, we do also. I did make a Reddit. There's a subreddit for RetroMacCast. For those people who don't like the Facebooks. One of the nice things about Reddit is you can actually search for stuff on there. It's not It's not gone the moment it's off your screen. Ever try to find something on Facebook that you posted or that you saw somebody post a week before or something like that? It's nigh impossible to find stuff again if you unless you save it.
If you remember what group it's in, you can search within the group.
Well, true, but sometimes our group, sure, it's easy because
there's nothing there
other than Jeremy posting stuff.
Yeah. You can
scroll
through it.
And obviously, and Michael Mulhern has been putting stuff on there, so we appreciate anyone who helps us because I'm on Facebook very, very seldom. True. All right. So anyway,
Yes. Okay.
eBay.
Let's get with some eBay finds in 3, 2, 1. It's time for eBay finds. Last week there was that Sears catalog ad, which featured a Performa. Which Performa was that? It's a 47 something or other. 475.
475, yeah.
Yes, $15.99.99. They still want to buy it now. $7.99 for the Sears insert. And we had the video card, the full page display card for the SE30. That one sold after 2 bids for $53.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. And also last week, the Very rare. Special edition from Money Magazine. Performa 560. Complete. Was it complete? No. No keyboard, no
No
mouse.
keyboard or mouse. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is operating. And sold by our buddy over at Mac Effects. So, it's going to be well packaged for you.
And so
That is still
clean.
available. Buy it now of $700. Okay, we'll begin this week with this oddity.
Yeah.
The title says, well, I'll read the whole title. It says Apple Macintosh, Mac, iPhone, iPod, MacBook Pro. I think that's all the products they sold.
They forgot Steve Jobs. They forgot Rare.
Yeah,
and
but
look,
it says low collector's glass marble 1 inch. Oops, let's pull that back up. And this one is in Canada. The description says up for consideration is this collector's Apple 1 inch size glass marble with stand for displaying. It's in excellent condition. I got the picture here.
Yeah.
It's a 6-color Apple logo that's sort of painted on a marble, but then there's like lots of those look like little glass chips.
Yeah, like little multicolored glass chips. I have to say it's really cool looking. I have no idea. And the Apple logo that's on there looks like it's actually underneath the surface somehow. Like it's
like it's
or been
embedded
glazed
somehow. Like
on.
right. It's not just
The-
like easily tacked on somehow.
Right. It doesn't look like it's somebody just painted an Apple logo on it. It looks like it was part of the thing when it was made.
Yeah, and there's some little glass chips in the logo itself, and you can see that they were
Yep.
done after the logo was put there.
So where on earth did this come from? I have
You
so
mean
many
outside
questions.
of
I have so many questions.
outside of somewhere in Canada?
Right.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it a lot. It's very cool. It really is. It was very hard for me not to bid on it this morning.
Well, it's got at least a reasonable starting bid. They're starting it out. There are no bids right now. It's starting out at $29.99. That's Canadian, which is roughly $23.50. Yeah, I just this will end in a day and a half, and it's cool because all the little bits of glass that are embedded there in the marble are all
Okay.
from the 6 colors. What
Have
Did
you?
learn
All right.
something?
So did you look at their store?
No, they have other marbles.
Marbles. Yeah. So this must
that
be
right?
something somebody does there.
Oh, so it's maybe a custom
Right.
job.
Yeah. Like maybe these are like marbles that are being like water. Are you familiar with like the water dipping? Where you
Water
basically
dipping.
have your image that you float on a pool of liquid and then you dip
Mhm.
your object into it and it does this great wrap of whatever around whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look it up sometime because it's a very interesting process. But I'm
Okay.
wondering if that is what they are doing here because this
Yeah.
place is selling lots
Right.
of different marbles.
There's like even a Legend of Zelda
Right,
marbles. There's
right.
some newer stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
they must make them.
right.
But unlike the others, I'm looking at the others. They just have like an image. There's very few of them that have the little bits of glass.
The
I
bits. Oh
can
no,
see
this
them.
this one. I mean, and I don't see any other that are like Apple branded. So they must have gotten
Yeah.
these marbles and found this one marble and said, "Oh, we know what we're doing with this one." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
very neat.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's move on to this. You got this one,
Gravis
John?
Mouse Stick. Yeah. So Gravis Mouse. Yeah, and I actually have a show and tell sitting off to my side for this too. Um, Gravis Mouse Mac Mouse Stick 2 programmable joystick for Macintosh boxed new. That's the cool thing is this one has the box with it. Kind of a crumpled box. It's but it is still shrink wrapped. So some of
Mhm.
that crumpling may have come from the plastic shrink wrap. Kind of shrinking. even more. So clearly the perfect joystick. Have you ever used one of these?
I may still have mine.
They're all right. So they're clearly an okay joystick, I have to say. So first of all, this one starting bid $75. Not bad for a inbox, especially if you like collecting, peripherals for things, and that also has free shipping. This is coming out of Romania, of all places. So
Wow.
I don't know how they're shipping free shipping on this to the States from Romania and not losing some money.
Mhm.
All right, so this joystick, so I've got one right here,
Yeah.
and the problem is, really the only problem is it is tiny. Okay, I mean, yeah, I've got a big
Well,
mitt, but
you do
it
have a
is.
big. Your hand is your 99 percentile hand size. So
So it is a so if you are looking for just a joystick and not worried about a box, what I highly recommend, and there is
oh
one up on eBay right now for $45, is the flight stick. Okay, there's an ADB flight stick up there. This thing it's built like a tank. It fits nicely. It's ambidextrous, like the mouse stick too. Also, where all the buttons are, there's not buttons that are specifically to be used with the right trigger finger. So highly recommend. The other one that I do have that's okay. It's got a unique twist to it. Is the Microsoft Sidewinder, and I say unique twist is because you were able to rotate the handle as well as up, down, left, and right.
wait, they made an ADB version of that?
Yes, they did.
Oh my
Got a couple of
gosh.
them. Yeah, believe it or not. Now this was also back in the days when you had oh goodness, what was it? For hooking up different USB things. OS9 sprockets, the sprockets, input sprockets. So yeah, but ADB. This
Wow.
one is not ambidextrous, though, because it does have buttons again for the right trigger
Yeah.
finger. But Flight Stick Pro, you cannot go wrong with a Flight Stick Pro. That said, the Gravis mouse stick is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. So there you go.
There you go. Wow, I didn't know this was going to turn into a whole
A
review
little joystick lesson.
of the joysticks.
I have issues.
All right. Well, what did we say they wanted for this one?
$75.
$75. That's because it's new in the box.
New in the box, sure. Yeah.
But there's a make an
absolutely.
offer. There's a make an offer. Okay, and finally, why is this all? Let's look at this thing. We've got a collection. Title says Vintage Apple Computer Collection Macintosh. Description says it's located in the Netherlands. Delivery is possible within Europe. This seems familiar to me. Did we talk about this before?
I know we've talked about
looks
other
familiar.
people selling their
I
collection.
don't.
So
It seems like we've talked about this one in the
this one's in
Netherlands
particular.
before. This one in particular, but it's a pretty good selection here. This first photo here just shows a rack that all the things are on display, and among them are an Apple II, a 2 Plus, 2E, a Box 2C, an Apple Lisa. Do we see the Lisa? Yep, it's a Lisa 2.
Mm-hmm.
3 Lisa keyboards, 2 Mac original Macs 128Ks, 2 512s, a Mac Plus, a Mac Plus ED. That's ED for educational.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. Performer 200, a Classic, Classic 2, Color Classic SE, an SE FD HD, SE30, 2 TAMs.
2 TAMs, yeah.
2 TAMs. QG4, an Apple II and an F3 display, an Apple Vision display 1710 AV, and more. What would you pay for all that? Look at the looks like a fairly decent. Looks like there's some big bins of mice and
cables,
parts
mice,
and cards.
sure. Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That's good fun right there. There's about 3 hours of untangling. What are we looking at the back? It's got a
one of the back says, yeah,
it's got a color
Raster Ops
display.
color board. Nice.
Ooh, nice. That's the SE30 there. Even the SE has a network card. Here's. Yeah, quite a display. What is that? A scribe up top there? Some peripherals. It's like a
Oh yeah, printer. Apple printer.
And there are various disk drives. There's another Apple dot matrix printer there, and you get the carrying case there for the 128. There's the pair of TAMs, but a lot of stuff. They are listing this at the low price of $12,500 is the buy it now. No make an offer, and of course you have to pick it up in Amsterdam. Gosh, I don't know if you add all that up, especially with the Lisa and the 128s. I don't know, you're getting close to that, right?
And the
if
two
you sold
TAMs,
them individually,
sure.
is
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to move that in one set, they're going to have to cut you a better discount, maybe. But
yeah, because I the problem with anyone who's wanting to be that much into this collection is probably somebody who has some of this stuff to begin with. Nobody's going to be starting from scratch going, you know what, I want to collect a bunch of computers. What's out there that can
right.
fulfill my
$10,000 roughly burning a hole in my pocket,
and
I
want to
get into
really
this
hope
hobby.
that they get the money they want, because it is worth what they're asking for. Absolutely, it's just going to be it's going to be hard to sell them all at once.
Well, the other big question is the operating condition of any of these things.
That is true. Yeah,
there could be a lot of projects ahead of you here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
With nothing shown as operating, and a lot of computers here that
this person's also selling a couple other. They've got an Apple Color Classic new in box. They're selling a 2C, the A2S 4000 Foley box computer monitor.
Yeah, so they separated a couple of the things that they thought could get a better premium out of the collection. Which that Color Classic new in box, they want
basically $20,000.
Yeah,
$19,995,
and it's not sealed either. And then the boxed 2C, they want $1,695. But yeah, all right. Well, we'll see how they do. That's it. We'll see how all those do the next time. All right. Let's see here. Starbucks Tech says, I am not a collector, but love seeing what people have. I'm more of a tinkerer, love to learn about tech. Nice. Yeah, it's always fun to look at these pictures to see what people have got in there. But what were they doing? Why do they have all this stuff? Because, were they part of a computer store? I mean, it's kind of an odd assemblage of stuff, especially when you have multiples of classic Macs.
Sure. Yeah. But and I'm going to guess on something like that. The reason I have a multiple of the Macs that I do have is because I was able to get them very cheap from school sales.
Yeah.
When compact Macs are going for $5 to $10 a piece, you end up getting quite a few.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Right.
Let's talk about myth. Let's go, and I'm gonna play that little video here when we start, John.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Let's go in 3, 2, 1.
The Fallen Lords, Balor, Soulblighter, Shiver, the Deceiver. Their names stir in us the most primal of fears. Yet the legends of our forefathers tell a different tale, that these lords of the fallen were not always the terrifying horrors we remember. The ancient city of Mirthemne, utterly destroyed by the war with Balor over a century ago. It was buried under a mountain of earth, and its records and knowledge lay entombed beneath the crushing rock. I have spent most of my life delving into these decaying halls and dirt-encrusted chambers, searching for the history of the...
All right, well, that's going to go on for, I think, a couple of minutes. There's a lot of story there.
And I have found
Yeah, so they the whole Myth series, they had a really nice, elaborate backstory for it.
Yeah, it might as well be Game of
Pretty
Thrones.
epic. Yeah, really. Yeah. It,
Yeah.
definitely, these people were fans of Tolkien.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the kind of grand, epic-y feel of their stuff. So I had played Myth, The Fallen Lords, and Myth 2, Soul Blighter, but I had never played Myth 3, The Wolf Age, even though I have a box copy somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you don't need a
And
box copy because you can go download it, right? So,
right, yeah.
Macintosh Garden.
So Macintosh Garden, of course, has it. Macintosh Garden also has. So before we get into the gameplay, so this is one of those where Bungie released the source code. So people after the fact were able to do some tweaks to it. I was reading up on the Wikipedia page for it, and there was a lot of trouble getting this out the door. And like the PC version was extremely buggy compared to the Mac version. Even the Mac version has some issues. And I love. Do you remember when I interviewed Rebecca Heineman at Kansas Fest? She was like involved with, like, if you've played any games, chances are she's involved in there somewhere, including this game. She was part of the Mac side of the team for this, and even
for the developer
as part of the development. Yeah,
she worked for Mumbo Jumbo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so even after the basically Mumbo Jumbo was no more, and they fired everyone as soon as the thing was released. She was
not very good for
was,
supporting.
No, but she had posted on the forums that she was finishing up some tools and tweaks for it. And then after the fact, so this came out in 2001, so this is actually a fairly new game. Even though that it still was, it still wasn't out for OS 10. The reason it's playable on OS 10 now is because of the continued efforts by people and different groups. There is a if you look up Myth and Magma, you'll find a website that where people have a lot more tools and also levels and everything for this. I do not believe that they ever came out with something so I could run it on an Intel Mac the way they did with the other two Myth games. So I am running this on a Tybook, and it runs really, really, really well on a Tybook. The other big thing with Myth 3 versus the other ones is, all right, so do you remember like Marathon where you had the 3D environment, but basically your characters were 2D sprites?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the first two Myth games were like that also. All your little units and everything were actually pixel art. They were not 3D art. This one is full 3D. OpenGL, full 3D. So it's kind of cool too. One of the other great things about the Myth game is they had a lot of little bits of subtle humor, including, if you never even want to actually play the game, I do highly recommend going out and just playing the tutorial. And I'm going to play a little bit of that right now because it's pretty fun and snarky. So let's go ahead and just hit new game.
Tutorial, yes. It reminds me of some of the humor of like the early Warcraft games.
We'll just do training camp.
All right.
And bear with me.
For a game that's 21 years old, just visuals just seem to hold up. It's just so well.
It really does.
Long.
Yeah.
Of course, you're piping this through the titanium PowerBook into an HDMI converter to USB.
Right. So yeah, the sound you're getting here is just from my titanium speakers.
We'll be using the default game configuration for this lesson. So listen up. The camera is your view into the world of myth. Skillful control of the camera is essential to victory. Use the W and S keys to move the camera forward and backward.
So I'm just going to press wrong keys until you hear a bit of this before we get into playing.
Almost. Try the W and S keys.
Come on, John. It's not hard. W and S.
Okay, one more time.
Okay.
Press the W and S keys.
Seems like he's getting angry.
Just press the W and
Oh.
S keys, will you?
Oh,
Okay, all right. All right, enough of that. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know it's hard to hear
it's
the
hard
game,
to hear.
guys. I wish I had had time to like hook up some external speakers or something.
Yeah, essentially the instructional video, the guy starts getting angry with you if you can't manage
Yeah.
to perform the simple tasks.
All right, we're just going to bring up. All right, so basically, what it is you've got your different types of fighters. You've got your archers. There's like a little demolition guy. You've got your swordsmen. You've got guys with pikes, and a lot of it is just getting used to, as I said in that intro, the getting your movements down. You definitely want to have a good grasp of moving camera, moving around. You've got to be able to orbit. You've got to be able to go to the side.
Yeah.
Because once the enemy guys get on there, it's pretty fast pace. One of the nice things that I did find in this game, because I like games, but I am not great at games. So when I was playing this, I was playing it on the basically easiest setting, and then you can actually change it so the game plays at half speed, because I'm an old man and I have old man reflexes. So yeah. So once you select your guys, you can select individual. You can select just the archers and send them somewhere. You can do formations for when they're approaching to fight people. You only get to see as much of the terrain as is kind of around you as you map things. It retains what you're looking at. And then you can see the bad guys show up on your kind of little radar setting, and it's really cool. Again, it's because it is also real time. It takes forever to kind of do things. This is not a quick just jump right into it and start playing sort of game. So we're not gonna get into it too much. All I can say is it is fun. It's got some hidden levels on it. This was critically not as well received as the other two games, but I really think the only reason is because the novelty of it had worn off by the time the third game came out. So people were used to the mechanics and everything, so it wasn't as fresh feeling. Because this one graphically is, by far superior than the other two. So there you go.
And I was reading how this also supported multiplayer.
Yes, yeah, they all of them did multiplayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
they did.
And
Okay,
and that was another one. Another group called the Tane, a fan group, kept their own servers going for years after, so you could play. You can play at LAN, obviously, but we're talking being able to play against other people online.
Yeah, sadly, I don't believe any servers exist to play it online anymore. So you'd have to hook up some Macs to do it. But yeah, you can download this. You can download the important patch.
Yes.
To make it reliable from
Macintosh.
Macintosh.
Yeah. So not only does it make it reliable, but it also makes it so you don't have to put the CD in. Obviously, you can install this from on Macintosh Garden. It's a toast image, and you can install it from the toast image, and then just install the 131 patch, and you're good to go.
Right.
Oh, Garth says he used to play this a lot, though only the first part as part of testing OpenGL. Nice. Is that like in an official capacity, or did you just really like messing around with OpenGL, Garth? Let's see what he says. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well,
at Apple testing graphics. Awesome.
What? Nice.
That's cool. Okay, we're gonna switch I'm going to talk about some news here. You coming back on, or are you just going to play Myth 3?
Hang on a second. All right. I really like this little HDMI.
Yeah,
device.
Bungie was part of Microsoft by then.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Microsoft bought Bungie shortly, like before this game even
They
started
wanted
development.
Halo. Yeah.
And I guess it was Take-Two that had the rights then to the Myth series, and then they contracted to Mumbo Jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but Garth says not yet. I don't know. I was reading the history. Forgive me. It says Microsoft bought Bungie outright in 2000, and this game came out in November of 2001. So, if you believe the Wikipedia. All right, let's talk about some news. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Not a whole heck of a lot of Apple news, as everything's just kind of we're gearing up right for WWDC. See what the announcements are. But I was looking around and here in the Twitter sphere, and Elisa had tracked down. She'd gotten these photos of this cool retro product. It's actually a lightning cable for like charging your iPhone, right, or iPad or something. Well, iPhone, I guess. But it is disguised in an old VGA cable, and
that is a thing of beauty. Wow!
And it gave me all kinds of ideas.
Oh, I've got so many spare VGA cables. This would not be hard.
Well, I was thinking about like more Macintosh specific, like a SCSI cable or a an ADB cable, right? With the little graphic there. And I don't know if I think it looks like you've just popped it in yourself. This is like a shell.
It does, right? Yeah.
You just slide in. Mm-hmm. So it'd be possible just to hollow out your own if you wanted to make one. There's a company that sold these for a while. Somebody tracked down, I guess Elisa tracked down the store, but alas, they've been discontinued. But it's a cool idea. I mean, I'm sure these are available somewhere, or somebody's making something like this, because it seems like
that's beautiful.
Whatever you could dream up, somebody was trying to sell you one. I thought that was cool. And we haven't checked in with NanoRaptor in a while, so I wanted to catch up on some of those creations. This one is great. The widescreen Apple II display for your Apple II. Of course, the widescreen is particularly effective for Oregon Trail. Give you the vistas.
Right, yes.
Experience your trek out west.
Grandeur of the West. Yes.
That I guess they call that the Monitor 2. That's with the tilt. Is that a tilt screen?
I don't think but I don't think that was the motorized one. I think that was just the one that you could kind of push the bezel up and down.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Wait a minute. There was a motorized one.
Yeah.
What?
It was a color one. Yeah, there was a color one. Had a motor in it for the tilting up and down.
No kidding.
Yep.
I wasn't even aware of that. Oh my gosh. Let's see. And what else does she have? This one, she just says definitely not a pair of Macintosh 2SI and a trench coat.
Trench coat, yeah. I love
yes.
That.
It's like
I like the looks of this one. I have to say.
This is the 2i. Not 2SI, but the 2i. I don't know why the nomenclature, but yeah, it's a super deep 2SI with dual floppies.
Dual floppies, right?
Yeah. And a very, very deep case. So you could have, I guess it's for, I don't know, double height cards or something like that. Lots of expandability in there. So that's sharp. You might hurt your neck if you stuck your monitor on top of that one. Or you'd have to lift your chair or something. I don't know about the ergonomics.
I don't know about hurting your neck, but this next one hurts my eyes.
The next one is this one. The caption says, now edit away and scale down to about half the pixel size-ish. Boom, Australian SE. Yeah, this one's the from Down Under. You get the Australian SE, which is an SE with the floppy drives on the top. That just kind of, it does hurt your head to look at that because you're
It
so
really
used to.
does.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like you just want to
Yeah.
turn your head upside down to try to
Right,
make
right.
sense of it because you just
Yes,
want to
yes. Have you ever seen pictures where they take somebody's face, turn the face upside down, but then take all the features and
yeah,
put them right side back up? That's the feeling I
yeah,
get
it
from
does. It
this.
does. If you just keep staring at it, it gives you a headache
Yeah.
just looking at it. Oh my gosh, I, I'm sure this version, the poor Australians had to use this thing because they probably had a lot of data loss from those disks heating up, the heat of that monitor rising up into the floppy bays there. Oh my gosh, I got to stop looking at it.
I know, right?
Enough of
Quick, a
that.
different
Okay,
tab.
this
All
is
right, there
something.
we go. This
This
is
is better
great.
to look at. This is oh my gosh, who is
Oh,
this?
can you play the?
It's yeah, I'll play it here.
Okay.
Let's zoom it down.
So my friend Joe
Aurora.
and his
Yeah,
wife Noreen sent me this. I guess Noreen found this on Tumblr, and Joe's like, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
you definitely need to send this to John."
Aurora is, I guess, a popular cosplay performer. And this costume is awesome.
It really is, yeah.
She has taken, what is that? That's a Blueberry iMac,
Blueberry
stop
iMac,
loading
yeah.
Blueberry iMac, and then turned it into a helmet with,
Like you see some DJs use, or Daft Punk or something like that, where they've got the helmet with the display on the front. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then there's actually a display running on there.
Yep.
And then there's some lights inserted on the side, and her has a matching outfit with a light up skirt and shoes and everything.
Yeah.
Here's another picture of it here. Let's see if I can play that one. Apparently, she can still see through the thing. Otherwise, you have trouble getting around.
Sure.
That won't play. I'd love to know what's going on inside, right? Because I guess there's no real displays. There's probably just a few
thin
lines
line,
of
sure, and then
LEDs,
darkened,
yeah, dark
plexi
end.
or
You can
something
just see through it.
that she can see out of. Yeah.
Yeah. That is.
So
I don't know why I haven't seen something.
This really makes me want to put LEDs or LED like Christmas lights inside one of my iMacs because it's like forget the Dalmatian. This is the way to go with those.
Do you notice she still has the monitor stand is still there? It kind of forms like a necklace.
Oh wow! I didn't even notice that at first. That's great. It's like a collar on the shirt almost. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's play that one more time. We get the animation here. Let's see. Oh, you notice it's like a
heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an EKG or something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
so
I love
cool.
it.
So I guess you had done this for convention. I'm hoping maybe it's something that I'll be able to see if she ever shows up at Dragon Con. I would love to see something like that at Dragon Con. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Now I can finally get this one. Let's go back and let's see if I can go back.
Oh yeah.
I got this other one. This other one you can see actually at.
So
she's checking her phone, and you can get a little better view of the graphic. I don't know what the AS is there. But then you can see the side, how there's their LEDs there and how they're pulsating. Kind of a cool pattern.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That is great.
All right. Yeah, Garth asks, is it one of those foam act display models they give out to dealers? Could be. That would certainly make the mod a little easier. You wouldn't have to remove everything.
Right.
But
Yeah, you
Yeah.
used to go into like furniture stores also, and you'd see them. They would have like fake
Mhm,
desks set up with stuff, and
mhm,
I remember
mhm.
seeing some of those Mac shells. You had one, didn't you?
Yeah, I have a tangerine one. Maybe I should turn it
Nice.
into a helmet thing like this. All right. Let's close this out. And 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, that comes to the end of another episode of the Retro Maccast. We're going to be off for a couple of weeks. I'm going to be unavailable, and we decide, well, we'll just take a little
Spring
extended
break,
break,
woo!
spring break. And so we'll be back not next week, not the week after that, but the week after that. So
And we
3
have no
weeks.
idea what we will be talking about at this point. I think you
Mm-mm.
mentioned. Did you mention something about doing something on screensavers, or there was something that we talked about recently that you
Oh,
thought
we've
might make
talked
a good
about
episode,
lots of things that are good ideas of
right?
future episodes. No, we never write any of that down and forget what it was. We'll come up with something. I know we have been wanting to talk about iOmega, their rise and fall, and all the
Oh
great
yeah,
products and
that
not
was
so
it.
great
That one. No, that was
products.
it. That's what I remember you
Oh,
talking about. Sure.
okay. Well, then
iOmega.
that
Let's just
let's
plan
do
on
that.
that. All
We'll
right.
do that.
3 weeks.
All
iOmega.
right. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see you in 3 weeks. Until then, it's not old.
It's retro.
All right.
Casualty. Casualty. Every time one of your guys dies, I heard that a lot, guys, this last week playing this game. Casualty.
I'm trying to remember where
Casualty.
that tangerine iMac shell is. I think it's in my attic someplace. I know it sat in the other house's attic for a long time, and it where it was hot. So hopefully it survived all right. I should find it.
Well, the
It needs to
polycarbonate
be,
plastic probably held
yeah.
up.
And the nice thing about the shells, as opposed to a real working one, is that it has the faux display, like
Yeah,
in her
right.
costume, right? You didn't have to come up with something. Although it would be that hard to just take some kind of semi-translucent, mylar
Ah,
or whatever. But it actually has a decent looking. I mean, it looks like a display. It's plastic, but it looks like a glass display.
Trina put in a bid on the marble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't a buy it now. That was
Nope, nope.
all right. Well,
It was an auction. Well, I hope you get it,
everybody
Trina,
step
because
aside.
pretty cool. That's
Don't
right.
let
Nobody else do that.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Hope to see you back in 3 weeks. And good luck on that auction. Um,
Yeah, hope everyone has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time, and find a game to play. Let us know on the Facebook page. We very seldom check, but Jeremy and Michael do. Michael do. If there's a game you think I should try, I'd like to hear that.
all right. We'll close it out here and we'll say goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.